and welcome back to the channel. It's Thursday. Hope all is well. I'm glad to have you join me today for more sports takes. To state the obvious, the NFL is a quarterback-centric league. Quarterbacks are the heart of a football team and lead the offense. And as every team executive will tell you, once finding a franchise quarterback, other positions in player evaluation all of a sudden takes a back seat. One thing is certain in the NFL. You can't win without a strong quarterback or without strong quarterback play. And so when I look at the Cincinnati Bengals, I see that they have their guy at quarterback. It's Joe Burrow, who is quietly having a great season. Have you seen his numbers? I mean, brilliant. No one has mentioned him much. Nobody talks about the season he's truly having because he's on a bad football team. I legit think he's one of the most overlooked quarterbacks in the league. I cannot live life without acknowledging Joe Burrow. Now, I'm not the guy who is going to say he's the MVP over Josh Allen because, as we know, the award usually goes to the quarterback with not only the best stats, but the quarterback on a winning team. So I won't even go that far in saying he's deserving of the MVP. And the only reason I'll say that because I think if he was on a winning team, that would be a different story. Now, we're talking about a quarterback who is potentially the front runner for MVP. That is, if he's on a winning team. And I feel as though he has put up elite numbers, and because it has not resulted in wins, that he's left out of the MVP conversation. I was thinking about this all day yesterday when it pertains to Burrow. It's a year that's been wasted when you really think about it. I mean, all you really can say about this season is that it's a down year in simplest terms. We like to blame the quarterback whenever a team isn't doing well, but how can you place the blame on a guy when he is having one of the greatest seasons in the history of the NFL that nobody will remember outside of Cincy? It sucks that he's on a Bengals team that just isn't very good. They aren't balanced enough. Burrow throws the ball way too much. You won't win many games playing like that. In one game, I think back in November, Burrow threw the ball 56 times. Goes to show it's a team effort. Individual stats go out the window. It doesn't revolve around one person. It doesn't matter what Joe Burrow does. It doesn't matter how many points he scores if the defense can't stop the other team from scoring. The defense is flat out terrible. The offense can't play defense too. And what it is, Cincinnati has no defense. Gotta get Burrow some defense. It takes a team. What a lot of people forgot is that Joe Burrow led the Bengals to a Super Bowl. And that wasn't a long time ago. It still feels like yesterday. And that year, he was getting beat up and banged up because he didn't really have the protection up front. And when you revamped the offensive line, it was of the understanding that the Bengals would contend and be a topic of discussion in the AFC North. But wait, the defense certainly has holes. Nobody can stop anybody. They're giving up a ton of yards and letting the opposing team walk all over them. We could be seeing another Hall of Fame talent go to waste with a poorly run franchise. So for Burrow to have any success in his career, he's going to have to most likely take his talent someplace else if he has any desire to get back to the Super Bowl. Because even if he were to continue to have his historic seasons like the one he's having this year, I don't think the Bengals will ever come close to making the playoffs ever again. Burrow, 33 of 44, 369 yards, 3 touchdowns in the Bengals win on Monday night. He's absolutely masterful. Brilliant. Jamar Chase, 14 catches, game winner. Probably the second best wide receiver in the league. However, the Bengals are 5-8. Burrow even came out and said the win is pointless. There's no question he's a star quarterback. But he's stuck in a shaky organization. Who knows where they'll be without their stud quarterback and even their top receiver. So for Burrow and Chase to have that chance at another Super Bowl appearance that they had a few years back, they have to go someplace else. Stay there, and this organization will just continue to waste their talent and precious years. Your time is too valuable. Your time is too valuable to waste on things that don't grow you. The whole point of being with a franchise on an NFL team is to win, not to be losers all the damn time. A man's time is too valuable to be wasted. Every second matters when it comes to achieving whatever it is. Cincinnati, as an organization, has failed Burrow this season. It's crazy that Burrow has 33 touchdowns and 6 interceptions, and his team is 5-8. I'm telling you, if they had a winning record, he'll be in the MVP conversation. And also, too, I really believe that Joe Burrow is too good of a player to spend the rest of his career on a team that doesn't care to put anything around him so that things can get better. They've been underachieving for a long time in Cincinnati, and they haven't committed to being in it to win, because if they were in it to win, Cincinnati would be a better product and maybe make themselves appealing to the rest of the league. There's nothing that Burrow or Chase can do to all of a sudden make this team an NFC North contender. There's nothing that they can do differently. I thought for the longest time that the Bengals are a very underachieving team. Beautiful stadium, future Hall of Fame quarterback, a top 5 receiver. You know, they don't have a ton of history in players, but in recent years, they've had names, star power, and yet this year, they haven't won more than 5 games. And as great as Joe Burrow has been, it feels like he's wasting his career in Cincinnati. It's not the first time ever a franchise quarterback has been stuck with a franchise that can't deliver for them. Andrew Luck with the Colts. He had a terrible O-line, retired early from the NFL, citing the physical and mental toll of coming back from injuries. Carson Palmer. Same situation when he was the quarterback in Cincinnati. Matthew Stafford during his time in Detroit when the Lions were bad. Joe Burrow is in a similar situation. You know, and I kind of see where this is going. The fact that he's got a bad offensive line, a lousy linebacking core, weak defense, that team, it's why I get on people who say he's an overrated quarterback. We're talking about a quarterback who got a bad offensive line to a conference championship. It's almost impossible to carry a team with no offensive line to the Super Bowl. Joe Burrow did. He got the Bengals within a play of winning the Super Bowl. I don't know if you can call that overrated. I'll look at the overall roster and franchise as a whole before I start rushing judgment on Joe Burrow, who has done everything he's possibly could to lead his team. It's what others are not doing. It's what the front office hasn't done. There's a lot of evidence out there that Burrow in Cincinnati is not going to work. So you're just going to let his career go to waste like this and not do anything about it? Yeah, it's time for Joe Burrow to get out of Cincinnati unless he wants to waste his career there and not win anything. This is not good for him. The idea that he doesn't have a line to protect him, that's criminal to me. And if they don't get him protection, then I don't see how he plays after 30. It's sad to see the Bengals wasting a legitimate MVP season from Burrow. It's a fantastic prime year from him, and his team has a losing record. Absolutely insane numbers, but the team he's on is bad. It's treacherous. You got to get guys who can protect him. More frustrating is he's running for his damn life every play. The other thing is they haven't made the plays to win the games down the stretch. Every game has been tight. That's going to be the story of the season. How the Bengals fumbled this generational Burrow and Chase season. It's wild when you think about it. You know, but that's the kind of year it's been in Cincinnati. And again, my time is too valuable to waste. I mean, those precious years are just going to waste. This guy's a good quarterback. This guy's a really, really good quarterback. He deserves another team. He deserves to be someplace where he can contend. And that's just not happening. And that's just not working for him in Cincinnati. You got to get out of there while you still can. Thanks for watching, everyone. Really appreciate the love and support. I'm getting out of here now. It's been real. As always, love chatting with y'all. Love talking sports. We'll do it again sometime tomorrow. You guys take care. We might do it again later tonight. I might come back with more content for you guys. I just don't know. But when I see you guys again, we're going to have another great conversation. More sports talk to come for you guys. Don't forget, if you guys like my content, do me a huge favor. Hit the subscribe button. See you guys again very soon. Take care, everyone.